Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another 1v1 video. This one is a little bit different. This isn't actually ranked or competitive. This was actually from last night's Boost Legacy 1v1 tournament that I played in. I actually went up against come to find out after the series, a Champ 3. I actually got a bye in the first round, and then my opponent in the second round auto DQ'd, so I ended up going to the third round by default. And this is basically where it starts off. The series, is a best of 3, so I'll be showing both games in it. And one thing just off the bat that I want to mention is my kickoffs killed me throughout the entire series. If I had been more consistent on them, I think it would have been much closer. But I kind of got slapped around a little bit. Especially in the first game. I also apologize for the music going on in the background. I was also simultaneously streaming this. That was a damn good save, because I tried to put that at a really hard angle. But yeah, I apologize for the music. I was streaming at the time and listening to music, and I didn't think to turn it off for some reason. So it just kind of captured in my recording as well. So I apologize for that. I thought about taking it out and putting something else in, but oh well. That was a good 50-50. He kind of just pushed the ball to me. I'm gonna get into the analysis now. There's another poor kickoff from me. I'm not exactly sure why I was losing kickoffs. I don't think I was hitting the ball hitting the middle of the ball well enough. And that clear was a really poor decision because he was waiting. Since I saw that he was waiting on that clear, I decided to let the ball come down and catch it. And on that dribble, I realized that once I got it on my hood, I was in a poor position. So instead of like throwing the ball or dodging into it, I kind of just let him take it off my hood because I didn't have anything good to do with that. That was a nice demo from him. I do think I managed to get the boost. I probably, in retrospect, should have challenged that. I don't have boost here. I'm trying to avoid the demo, and I don't know how he managed to get the boost instead, but I make a pretty good save and keep it out, and then just go straight for boost. As a little bit of a late challenge there. I did get a little lucky being able to touch it with the side of my car and hit it away. I wasn't exactly sure where that last touch was going to go, so I waited, and this was just a really bad touch out from me. I meant to hit it harder towards the sidewall, hopefully to like roll it up or have it hit the curve, and I ended up just basically passing right back to him. That time that kickoff wasn't so bad. I thought about hitting a bounce dribble, but then I saw he was so far away, so I caught it. And the reason that I did that kind of wide side flip is because I wanted to, I really shouldn't have challenged right there. It's because I wanted to hit it behind him, but I didn't have it on frame. That challenge there, I was like, in my mind trying to adapt, and since I was being really patient, I wanted to like change it up and get a really fast challenge on it. And that's a kickoff goal since I wasn't able to touch it. Kickoffs really killed me. But I wanted to try to change it up and go for an early challenge, and ended up missing the ball pretty badly. I think one thing that I've noticed, because I've gone through these replays a little bit since then, is that when I go for challenges on dribbles, especially dribble flicks when they have the ball on their head, is I don't tend to go for where the ball is going for. That was just, he beat me. Like, there's nothing to that. I hesitated, and he got up much faster than I did. There's nothing more I can say about that goal. But I've noticed that when I go for challenges on dribble flicks, I go for where the ball is at, not like potentially what direction or angle they could be throwing it from. And so I end up being off quite a bit. That was a really good attempt from him to air dribble it. I didn't think he'd have enough boost to push it more to the side, so I stayed stationary. I just gave up possession to him. I think I might have been able to dribble that out more. Here, I'm just giving myself space. I want to go for a bounce dribble and then end up ruining it, so I go for a 50-50, end up pushing it through him. So we end up at least getting one more goal back, down by 4 with about a minute and a half to go. I will say I was pretty nervous and anxious in this game, especially match 1, because it seemed like I think I was just in a really poor position and I should have either challenged it like right away, had no hesitation, or moved closer to the post and like inside the goal so I could have defended better. Another really poor kickoff. But one reason why I was like really nervous and I tried to go for a bump there and he jumped over me, so that was good recognition by him. One reason why I really had more nerves in this match especially, and one thing that actually like started to kind of piss me off a little bit, is how they seemed to not take the game as serious after a certain point in the first match. And what I mean by that is like not necessarily holding back, but going for dumb things and stupid things that aren't exactly necessary. I think there's like 1 or 2 times, or like a couple times, where he'll like go for air dribbles and stuff like that, or try to do some sort of like fancy dribble flick or something. It was just a little something like that. It's just a little irritating as a competitor and almost insulting to my ability to play. If it was a casual game or something, I wouldn't have minded as much, really. But since it's like a tournament, a competitive tournament, you can see my toxicity showing there right in chat, because I was frustrated that they weren't giving me as much credit as they probably should have. And I just found it kind of rude. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. As a competitor, I don't want someone to take it easy on me in an actual like serious situation in a tournament, whether they're like leagues above me or not. You know, I want them to give me their all and have a good match regardless of what the score ends up being. But we get on to game 2 here. This is a good challenge. He didn't have a very good flick. I should have boosted earlier. That was a really terrible missed open net. I should have boosted earlier because I think I had enough boost to get under it and catch it and dribble it into the net, or just hit it like off the bounce and take a shot. That challenge on the wall was really good for me to change it up, because he expected me to just turn off the wall and go back to the corner. Instead, I turned towards the ball and got a quick hit before he was able to reach it and ended up scoring because of that. I'm giving him a little too much space here, so I decided to go in and challenge. That's another really bad challenge from me on the dribble flick. I was like a few inches away from the ball and was too late getting up to it. I have a really hard time, it seems, dealing with people who can flick the ball high over me. And I was in an awkward position, but I was able to save it pretty easily. And then I, again, missing another open net. And I must commend their defense, because that was a really good stop to get back quick enough and stop me twice. And then be able to flick it out, because I believe they have no boost at this point. And the reason that I actually tried to turn and challenge so quickly, which wasn't exactly very smart, I kind of gave up on that goal because of it, the missed half flip, is I didn't think that they would have enough boost or momentum to be able to push through the ball, since I don't think they had very much, and I had 100 boost, so I thought I could power through with the boost. Just take a quick shot there, trying to force them to make a save. It was pretty good on his part. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have tried that, considering that they're at a much higher level. There's another good example of trying to change it up. I get a demo, but he spawns in a really good position for him, and I didn't want to hit it up so high. And honestly, on the rebound, I had enough time to kind of like set my feet and get my bearings and ultimately take a much better shot. There, I wasn't really concerned about the ball going in the net. I knew it wasn't gonna be in the air when it got close to the net, so I just wanted to catch that and dribble that out. I definitely seemed to be going for faster challenges more, and that was a really good demo on his part. If I had just been like more aware of where he was, I think I had enough boost to aerial and jump over him and hit the ball off the back wall and hopefully to the side. I think this is kind of where I started to get my kickoffs under control a little bit more, and they were messing up a little bit. This is just a really jank play. It ended up working, but what I wanted to do originally is flick the ball high and force him to make a save, because I think I had enough boost to get any sort of rebound. But once I kind of went under the ball, I decided to go for him, and because I assumed that he would jump, I jumped up and dodged, and like I kind of glanced him. I didn't knock him out, but I glanced him, and that was enough to put the ball in the net. That was really poor defending there. The main reason that he was able to dribble it around me really easily like that is that when he turned, I was in the process of like turning my car around 180 degrees to get positioned in goal properly, and then he allowed me to land on, he let me land on him, so then I was all messed up, kind of like that exactly, and it put me out of position and he was able to get the goal. And there, I basically just kind of did the same thing to him. I let them land on me and mess with them and not allow them to get their bearings back, and I don't think they had very much boost. So I just basically just played it fast and got the ball past them into the net. There's another kickoff goal. I didn't conserve my boost whatsoever, so I had none, and I think they had maybe 1 or 2 boost pads, so that was a pretty easy aerial to put in the goal from there. Fairly neutral kickoff here. I wanted to fake a challenge just to force them to flick the ball. Worked out pretty well. I should not have rushed that shot as much. Spoodah was back quite far. I realized that they missed the ball. Go for a quick counterattack here and able to put the ball in the net. But that play off the sidewall, I should have taken my time because he was quite far away from the ball, or at least not challenging the ball, so I would have had enough time to set up a bounce dribble, maybe try an air dribble because the ball was bouncing, maybe just catch it and go for a normal dribble and flick. I had a number of options rather than just hit the ball to them. Just putting this to the sidewall. I waited to see if he would go up, and he did, so I decided to stay on the ground. I don't really know exactly why they stayed. Maybe that was just a good recovery on my part and being able to challenge them and hit it right off their hood there. It was a pretty good kickoff there. They decided to go back instead of going for corner boost, which actually helped them because I hesitated in going for the corner. And I took this one a little bit too fast and rushed it to get off the wall when I really didn't need to. And they just made a really nice touch around me when I didn't have very much boost, and were able to capitalize on my mistake there. There's a good kickoff from them to put it into my side. Just wanted to get the corner boost and make sure that I covered the area of the goal. Wasn't really sure where he was, but I definitely think I had more time to keep that ball on my hood. And after they carried it around their end, I was too close to them, and I kind of like hesitated to go for a challenge. It wasn't even a fake challenge, it was just me hesitating. And because I hesitated, they were able to flick it over me and get it high enough. A little desperate here. I try to throw a shot on the net and see if I can get anything. If I had managed to get more power on it and push it more to the left side of the net, I would have had a better chance maybe to squeak one in. Not 100% sure, but it was worth a shot there. And at this point, I think I kind of just gave up and was playing it out. Just trying to hit that final buzzer. And yeah, so that does it there. I only played one round yesterday, which sucks. I swear, anytime I go into a competitive tournament setting, whether it's by myself in ones or with a team, it's like always the first series that we go out, or it's just something where we don't play a great team in our first series and then we play a much better team in the second series, and it's just kind of a weird dynamic. But that basically does it. It didn't feel while I was playing like I was that out of match with them. Definitely a lot of jitters and bad decision making for sure, but I was generally able to keep up with their speed of play, and I would say that it felt like there's a good maybe 50 or 60% of the touches or challenges that I got were pretty good, or good enough to compete with them. So that was basically me going up against what is a Champ 3 in ones, and it was quite the knock off the mountain, you might say. Definitely made me realize that there are players leagues above me, but I think it was all in all a good learning experience, and it was nice to have that. With all that being said, I think I'm going to leave this video here, and I will see you guys next time. Later.